Hi, I hope. Welcome to Through a Handler's Eyes. Okay, I'm live now. Hi, welcome to Through a Handler's Eyes. I'm Jo Hilda. I apologise about that. I was trying something new, didn't quite work. But I will wait for a couple of moments because I don't have anyone just yet, and that's fine. Just wait a little bit. Okay. Before I get started today on our topic of handler and dog skills audit and planning for the year ahead, I would just like to pay my respects to Karen Pryor. Karen Pryor was a remarkable trainer and pioneer in the world of positive reinforcement. She passed away 2 days ago at the age of 92. Her groundbreaking book, Don't Shoot the Dog, set me on the path of force-free training and transformed how I work with dogs and people, deepening my understanding of their needs and trying to make their lives much better. Karen's contribution to the world of training have made countless lives, both human and animal, immeasurably better. Her legacy will continue to inspire generations to come, and she will be deeply missed, but her impact will never be forgotten. So, okay, on that note, we are going to dive into something that I think every handler can benefit from: a skills audit. At this time of the year, it's a really good time to do a skills audit and plan your year ahead. So it helps by maintaining their skills. And we're going to look at everything, the holistic thing, from how we communicate with to how we to handle challenges in public. Today, I'd like to walk you through the key areas that you can assess. This is what I do at this time of the year with my dogs. And if you're in your beginning stages of training your assistance dog, or your assistance dog's been working for you for years, we can all look at those skills and see what we need to work on. Now, one of the most important things I feel is communication, because if we're not clear with our dogs, everything else falls apart. So we need to think about our cues, whether verbal or hand signals, or the way we use our body around our dogs. They're all cues for them. We want to make sure that they are clear and consistent. What about rewarding your dog at the right moment? That's also vital. Timing is really important to get that communication just right. And our tones of voices. Are we using encouraging tones, calm tones that help guide our dogs and help them know what we want from them? Or do we sound frustrated without realizing? I think we've all had the frustration without realizing. I've noticed when I'm tired or stressed that my tone can slip, and to put it mildly, it's something I've worked hard on to become aware of, because our dogs pick up on things really, really quickly. So we have got to be as aware about ourselves as we are about our dogs, because we don't want to confuse them. One thing that has helped me is practicing my cues without the dog, practicing my timing without the dog. A good way of doing that is, say you're using a marker word or a clicker, get a tennis ball, bounce the tennis ball, and every time it hits the ground, mark and drop it again and drop it again. And it does really, really improve your timing for that marking and rewarding. And don't forget, if you click, you must feed, or if you say yes, you must give that dog the reward. I pay attention to my body language. I make sure that when I'm training with Rory, I'm upright as best I can be. And I know we all have challenges with our physicality. So we just need to be mindful of the best we can do. We don't have to be perfect because our dogs are very forgiving, but try and be consistent. If you stand a certain way, try and stand that way all the time when we're talking to our dogs. If you sit a certain way, if your body is angled in a certain way because that's the way your body's angled, don't worry about it, but try and be consistent. Take a moment to think about your communication and what's one area you think of you could improve. Put a comment, let me know, and I'll share it. Now, next, let's talk about training knowledge. Are you using positive reinforcement consistently? Are you rewarding appropriately for the situation, like high value treats for high distraction environments? One of the things I struggled with early on was breaking down complex tasks into smaller steps. I'd get frustrated, and if he didn't immediately understand what I wanted, not with Rory, but with my first assistance dog, Charlie. I've done lots and lots of training myself and learning how to train. I also learnt to focus on small wins. So when you can concentrate on your small wins, lots of things will change, and because you're celebrating rather than berating yourself for being wrong. Do you practice training in a variety of environments to keep your skills sharp? Are you consistent on how you reward behaviours? Remember, training doesn't have to be formal. It doesn't have to be a formal session. I like to incorporate it into everyday moments, like practicing focus while waiting in line, or reinforce leave it during walks, or getting him to open the fridge when I need to get something out of it to keep that fresh in his mind on how to open a door. Do any of you have any tips on practicing and where to pick up some knowledge? As I said at the beginning, Karen Pryor's book, Don't Shoot the Dog, was one of the biggest revelations to me. So if you can get it and read it, please do. And if you can't, if you're not good with reading, as I've become in my older years, I get things on audiobook, and it's a really good book and it's worthwhile. It just gives you lots of insights. Now, another thing that we want to look at is problem solving, and ours and theirs. Let's face it, things don't always go according to plan. Problem solving is a huge part of being a handler. Can you recognize when your dog is struggling? And do you adjust your approach to help them succeed and therefore yourself succeed? I'll give you an example. There are times when Rory kept getting distracted by other dogs during training. I realised the environment was too much for him, so we went back to a quieter space and built up gradually. Being adaptable is important. And it doesn't mean that you've made that it's a failure. It means that you both learnt and you're going to do better. Ellie, the name of the book is Don't Shoot the Dog by Karen Pryor, who sadly passed away 2 days ago. What's one of the challenges you guys have faced recently, and how did you handle it? I love to hear your stories, so that would be really great. We want to look at our public access confidence too. Public access can be one of the most daunting aspects of being a handler of an assistance dog. Do you feel confident explaining about your dog's task if someone asks? And how do you manage interference, like people trying to pat your dog? For me, having a few phrases ready and practicing them when I'm not in a stress situation is a lifesaver. I always like to have a plan when I go out. So I always have a higher value dry treat, usually dried liver or something like that, so that if something comes up that we have never encountered before, I've got something of value and that will help me and Rory get through it. One of the things I've been practicing saying is, he's working, please don't distract him. Or I did unfortunately ask a man once what his last prostate exam was like, because he asked me why I needed my dog. And I said, I'll tell you my medical information when you tell me yours. And I think I shocked him. I shocked myself, I think. So having a plan at how to deal with people is really important. It gives you, well, it always gives me anyway, if something happens, I've got a go-to that I've already practiced, even if it's only in my mind. Practiced it and it comes to me really quickly. You could practice navigating crowded spaces during quieter times to build your own confidence. Don't be afraid to set boundaries with the public. Your dog's focus comes first. You and your dog's relationship is the most important thing. And you are there, both of you, to do a job. And asking people to leave you be is perfectly acceptable, even if they don't think it is. Because your dog is medical equipment as much as someone's wheelchair, as much as someone's walking stick, as much as someone's crutches. Would someone go over to someone and ask can I just touch your crutches? No, it wouldn't happen. No matter how cute the crutches were, it just won't happen. So we've got to remember we're allowed to stand up for ourselves and our dog. And I know that's not easy for most of us, but I think if you practice in the mirror, it truly does make a difference, because our brains don't know the difference between a vivid imagining and reality. And if you practice and practice and practice, then it will come to you in the right moment. And that will help you in the public domain. One big thing to also know is how your emotions affect your dog. I've learnt that if I'm stressed, Rory picks up on it instantly. Staying calm and collected, even when things go wrong, is something I work on all the time. I'm sure all of us do. When I feel overwhelmed, I take a deep breath and focus on Rory's needs instead of my own frustrations. If something goes wrong, I remind myself one bad moment doesn't define a whole day. How do you stay calm under pressure? What's the strategies do you bounce back from stressful incidents? How do they help you bounce back? Our relationships with our dog is the key thing, okay? Keeping that relationship fun and happy and trusting. The trust has got to be there. That trust is at the heart of everything. It makes our whole lives easier if our relationship with our dog comes first. Our trust. We trust them and they trust us. Now, games are a great way to build trust and build rapport and relationship. So don't forget to have some fun. It doesn't all have to be work. It can be fun too. Now, part of our skills assessment is also the maintenance of old skills and the development of new ones as we need them. So skills can fade or what they call extinguish if we don't keep practicing those skills. So you need to regularly reinforce your dog's behaviours or tasks. Get them to do the task even if you don't need it. Get them to, as I said, open the fridge door for you. Pick up something off the floor. I often use what Tony Robbins, he's a speaker, a motivational speaker. He has a phrase called no extra time. And I use that a lot. I drink a lot of tea. So while I'm waiting for the kettle to boil, I might get Rory again to open the fridge so I can get my milk out. Or I'll open all the kitchen doors and get him to close all the kitchen doors. Or I'll get him to go and bring me my phone, or whatever the case may be. Because keeping those skills strong is important. Now, I have a list of all the tasks and behaviours he can perform on a calendar, and I have them spread out over a month so that at the end of the month I just go, yes, we did that this month, yes, yes, yes. And if there are things we haven't done, I will make a point of doing them before the end of the month so that none of Rory's skills fade, and when I need them, I know they're going to be there. Your training sessions don't have to be perfect, but they've got to be consistent. Look at what your key skills are of your dog. For me, Rory leaning in on me when I get wobbly is important. Picking up objects off the floor is very important because I have a bad back. Helping me move forward because every now and then my legs decide that they don't want to go. There are a few absolutes that he does all the time, so I don't need to refresh them. Also look at what you might need. Now, I've never needed him to get me a drink of water out of the fridge for medication or anything because it's not the nature of my disability. However, I decided that this year I want to teach him how to do that. So we're working on that. There are new skills. I'm also teaching him how to empty the washing machine and put things in the washing machine for me. Again, I've never needed it before, but as time goes by, I may. And so these are things that are new skills, but they may be really necessary for me down the track. So you look at your bigger picture, look at what your dog already knows how to do for you, and sorry, I've just read a comment by Ellie that is very funny. Ellie, can you give me a thumbs up if I can read that out loud, please? This, now I've lost my train of thought. I'm really, really sorry. Yeah, building on the skills we've already got and developing new skills for the new challenges in our life, or just for fun. Rory loves to learn. Since he was a puppy, I've taught him how to learn, how to enjoy that time. So if you teach them how to learn, they enjoy it. It's a game. It's time to spend with us. It's a enjoyable, but they learn new things. It's also good for their brain and our brain. Keeps us more lucid, more on the go, and it does the same thing for them. Learning does the same thing for dogs as it does for humans. Now, so teaching them new things that we think we may need down the track or just for fun. But at this time of the year, I like to go through all of Rory's skills again and see which ones that may need sharpening up, so that that's something that we can work on more consciously during the year. So self-care is also another thing. Let's not forget about us. We're taking care of our own health and well-being so we can meet our dog's needs as well as ourselves. So are you doing that? Are you taking care of yourself? It's really important, because again, if we don't do it, we can't help our dogs and they can't help us. Make sure we always have water, treats and other essentials ready to go. I have a bag with Rory's stuff in my car all the time. It has food in there and water, which I change out every now and then so that it's fresh. I've also learnt a long time ago when I had young children that if I don't take care of myself, I can't take care of anyone else. So that's really important. That is part of our skills audit. It is part of looking after our dogs and looking after ourselves. I have got a document with the skills audit, which I will post on the Facebook page after. I couldn't work out how to post it on the live, so I'll post it on the Facebook page after we have finished. And it gives you some step-by-step things to look at. I use it once a year. Some people use it more often. If your dog's new and is just learning, doing a skills audit every 3 or 4 months is not a bad idea, because that keeps you more aware of what's going on too. Because I don't know about you, but I get in my own head sometimes and I forget what's going on around me. So if I have something in my diary, do this or do this, then that's what happens. Take some time to reflect on your strengths and areas for improvement. And don't forget, every small step forward counts. If you found this at all helpful, please let me know. What's one area you're going to focus on this week, this month, this year? If you haven't already, subscribe to the podcast and some stories for the assistant dog community. One last thing. This is a call to action, please. If anybody is interested, I'm looking for some handlers to interview this year. We can do it on camera or not. I have set of questions, and I don't go into anything personal unless you bring that up. But I loved doing them. If you were interested but not sure, there is a lot of just the podcast that I originally started with interviews from handlers, and you can see how we do that. But I'd love to do that again, but I need some people. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And remember, be kind, be kind. We're all doing our best, and that includes our dogs. Thank you, and I'll see you on the first Wednesday in February.